Now, he said he had to return it as he deemed it inappropriate for a part-time job he did and received salary for it. Now, Ex-Gratia is given to Article 71 office holders like ministers of state, members of parliament, council of state, and many others. Now, as we speak, there are some people who are unit committee members, and they also think that they deserve to be given Ex-Gratia. Unit committee members, they believe that they deserve to be given Ex-Gratia. So today, we want to give you a breakdown of how the Ex-Gratia is calculated, the quantum we pay, and what these monies could be used for if we want to go into projects, development. What these monies could do for us if we decide to use these monies. Send us voice notes. When you hear Ex-Gratia mentioned, how do you feel about it? Send us a voice note to 055-1111-995. It is 055-1111-995. What you can also do for us is to tweet at us using the hashtag #LoveInTheMorning. We're live on Facebook, and for Facebook, I would implore you to join us on Facebook because we've got some slides that would help you appreciate the conversation that we're about to have. But before we delve into the issue of Ex-Gratia, take a listen to this. There are some people out there who have benefited from Ex-Gratia for so many times. Mention can be made of the former MP for Ningo Prapram, for example, E.T. Minta. He was in there for so long as a member of parliament, for so long, and each and every time he took Ex-Gratia. Now, as we speak, he was a council of state member, has also taken this 365,000 we're talking about, one person, all his lifetime in parliament, Ex-Gratia, Ex-Gratia, Ex-Gratia. And then he was elected as a member of the Council of State to represent the Greater Accra people. And he's gotten another Ex-Gratia of 365,000, one person. So take a listen, keen interest in this conversation, and share your thoughts with us. Eugene Osetutu is our fact checker, and he's been fact checking a few things and been digging. Eugene, good morning.
David, good morning.
So what have you been able to put together for us this morning by way of Ex-Gratia?
David, time check is 7:40 a.m. So within the next 15-20 minutes, David, I'll be making a presentation on the Ex-Gratia of our country, that scheme, and make the point to the conclusion that there's a drain on our national coffers. It's a threat to our collective democracy, because some of the tenets of democracy is fairness, equity, and Ex-Gratia makes nonsense of all those things. And I also make the general public and our listeners understand the various nitty-gritties of it. So I will start the presentation by defining what the Ex-Gratia is. I'll go to the Constitution and do 3 basic things in the Constitution. Identify those who enjoy, or those who are part of Article 71 enjoy that scheme. I'll also tell you about the conditions of service of the president, and also take you to a historical journey through the various four Republican constitutions we've had, because Ghana has had four republics. We'll just do a little bit of a constitutional analysis on there with regards to the president and their conditions of serving not being taxed, because it's very important to the conversation. The fourth thing I'll be doing is that I will show people how the Ex-Gratia is calculated. On the Super Morning Show this morning, Winston did a bit of that. I'll continue from there. And 5, I'll highlight certain pertinent issues that I believe should be of concern to us, rather than paying people Ex-Gratias that are not justifiable and do not make a single economic sense. So, David, I will start by defining what Ex-Gratia is. David, when you go to the Black Law Dictionary, and I use Black Law because politicians always go or like to quote the law, it says that it's a payment done out of grace, as a matter of grace, favor, or indulgence, or gratitude, a term applied to anything considered as a favor, as distinguished from that which may be ex facto, or as a matter of right. So according to the Black Law Dictionary, Ex-Gratia it's almost like I'm doing you a favor. Now let's come to the common definition of Ex-Gratia. This is the Black Law Dictionary, which is more synonymous with law. Now another definition for Ex-Gratia is that it's a voluntary payment made out of virtue of grace by an organization or an individual for damages or claim. In Latin, and this is for social studies students, in Latin it means favor or by virtue of grace. So David, this is the definition of Ex-Gratia. Now let's go through the Constitution, Article 68 to be precise. When you go to the Chapter 8 of our Constitution, this Article 68 talks about the conditions of service of the President. So let me read Article 68:1. The President shall not not, while he continues in office as president, A, hold any other office of profit or emolument, whether private or public, and whether directly or indirectly. B, or hold office of chancellor or head of any university in Ghana. 68B. Article 68(2), the clause 2. The president shall not, on leaving office as president, hold any other office of profit or emolument except the permission of parliament in an establishment, either directly or indirectly, other than that of the state. So, David, Article 68(1)(2) basically saying that the president, whilst in office, cannot work for any other private entity. He must not have stake in any other business. His sole job should be president and serving the interests of the good people of Ghana. The B, or the 2, also talks about the president, whilst he leaves office, should also not hold the office of profit. And I will explain why. That is why they retire on their salaries. That is why we pay them well to retire on their salaries. Now, David, the 68(3), the clause 3 says, the president shall receive such allowances, salaries, facilities as may be prescribed by parliament on the recommendations of a committee referred to in Article 71 of this Constitution. So the 3 is also saying that the salaries of the president will be recommended by parliament, but there must be a committee that will be set up, not more than 5 people, and they'll come there, who will determine what the president will be paid. So, David, you see the circles already. The members of parliament who enjoy this facility has a stake in there. Now, when you go to the 4, on leaving office, the president shall receive a gratuity in addition to pension equivalent to his salary and other allowances and facilities prescribed by parliament in accordance with clause 3 of this article. 5. The salary, allowances, facilities, pension, and gratuity referred to clause 3 and 4 shall be exempted from tax. So, David, what that is saying is that, the president's salary, the committee recommends parliament to have to approve and is exempted from tax. Now, David, let's go through the tax system. Let's go through the tax system. David, the president of this country do not pay tax. And David, when I say the president, I mean the vice president is also part. Because when you read the various provisions of the Constitution, the dictates that we give to the president, or the various things that the Constitution engenders the president to do, that is the same metric on which the vice president comes. The president of the Fourth Republic do not pay tax, or any other republic do not pay tax. Now, David, let's go to the 1960 Republican Constitution and read something. When you go through the various that particular constitution, there's a section that reads, the president shall receive such salaries and allowances on retirement, such as pension, gratuity, and other allowances as may be determined by the National Assembly. And then the National Assembly was basically acting as the parliament we have today. It continues, the salary and allowances of the president shall not be reduced during his period of office. 17. Such salaries and allowances, are chargeable to the consolidated fund. So when you go to the 1960 Republican Constitution, it was quite silent when it comes to the exemption of tax. Now let's go to the 1969 Constitution. When you go to Article 36(3), it reads, the president shall receive salary and allowances and on retirement such as pensions, gratuity, and other allowances as may be prescribed by parliament, in respect of all which he shall exempt from direct taxation. So the 1969 Constitution was explicit that the president do not pay tax. Now let's go to the Third Republican Constitution, the one that brought in Lehman. When you go through the Article 19 of that Constitution, it reads, the president shall receive such salaries and allowances on retirement, such gratuity, or any other allowances as may be determined in accordance with the provision of Article 58 of that Constitution. So when you take through the historical journey of all these constitutions, they say that while the president is in office, he cannot be made to pay tax. He needs to serve the interests of the people. Even the 60 Constitution, the 1960 Constitution, says that his salary should not be reduced. So meaning that whilst you are saying public sector workers must reduce their salary in terms of COVID and not, the president's salary may either remain stagnant or it will be improved. Now, when Prof. Mills came and constituted the Constitutional Review Commission, they made a very interesting point in that report. Let me read something for you. The commission advocated for the keeping of the state of event where the president's emoluments are not taxed. According to this view, the job of the president is really taxing and must be motivated with tax reliefs. The president was also likened to a traditional ruler or a king. In ancient times, kings were exempted from paying taxes as their subjects themselves paid. So the constitution says the president shouldn't pay tax. Ghana is in the fourth republic. So I went to the first republic, the second republic, and the third republic, and also in 2010 the Constitutional Review Committee. And they all make the point that the president shouldn't pay taxes. And David, I'll come to why this point is important. Now, David, let's go back to the constitution and understand what is Article 71 that has become like very infamous or an animal that always rises up. Now, Article 71, Clause 1 and 2 of the 1992 Constitution stipulates the determination of the salaries and allowances of the executive, the legislature, the judiciary, paid from the consolidated fund. But then you see, because members of parliament, anytime this discussion come, we target them. But there are lots of people enjoying these facilities, and I'm going to mention all of them here. We have the president, the vice president, the speaker of parliament, the deputy speakers of parliament, members of parliament, the chief justice, and David, and all justices of the Supreme Court. Yesterday, I went to the Judicial Council, their website, and David, I listed 14 justices of the Supreme Court. If someone is listening, I'm wrong, they can correct me. 14 justices of the Supreme Court. I read. We have His Lordship Justice Enim Yeboah, who is the Chief Justice. You have Justice Jones Joche. You have Justice Bafuboni. You have Justice Gabriel Kwamine. And many of them, they are 14. The number 14 per the website of the Judicial Council is the respected Lordship Justice Emmanuel Yoni Kolendi. So 14 of them. Then you come to the Auditor General, the chairman and deputy chairman of Electoral Commission. As we speak, we have the 2 deputies, commissioners, and we have the Electoral Commissioner, so there are 3. Then we have the Commissioner for SHRAG and his deputies. Then we have the District Assembly Common Fund Administrator, the man who hasn't paid MMDCs for 7 months. He is part of the Ex-Gratia. We have the Council for Higher Education. We have the Public Services Commission. We have the National Media Commission. We have the Lands Commission. We have the National Commission for Civic Education. David, all these people. And by certain convention, there have been people who has also been migrated onto the scheme that are not necessarily captured by the Constitution. So, David, the president do not pay tax.
I don't want to forget this thing, so let me just chip this one in. And some of the people you mentioned in there, they retire on their salary.
I'll come to that.
Go ahead.
David, of all the people who I have mentioned, the president, the justices of the Supreme Court, and the vice president retire on their salaries. MPs do not retire on their salaries. Now, David, Joe, give me the picture 1.
And this is where, listeners, you would benefit more and enjoy and appreciate the conversation more when you join us on Facebook on LUV 99.5 FM.
Yes.
Join us there now and get to appreciate the slides that we're sharing with you and the things that we have on there. It's LUV 99.5 FM on Facebook. Again, what you can do for us is we want to hear from you. When you listen to Ex-Gratia. And don't forget that some of these people who benefit from these Ex-Gratias we're talking about are paid very, very well. Like this Council of State members, we're told that they paid some 26,000 cedis every month.
David, I'm coming there.
Don't worry, I just want to build. I'm building the point.
And you even see the increases.
And so if someone is paid 26,000 every month, and after a term is giving what? Ex-Gratia to the tune of 365,000 Ghana cedis. You ask yourself, how wealthy is this nation for us to be doing these things? Put that aside. There are some people like members of parliament, and I was making a reference of E.T. Mensah. He spent so many years in parliament. At every end of parliament, he took Ex-Gratia. He was elected a Council of State member to represent the Greater Accra region. Again, he's received another Ex-Gratia. So question is why? What is wrong with us? So when you hear all this, we want you to share your thoughts with us. So send us voice notes. This is our WhatsApp number 055-1111-995. What thoughts do you have when we talk about Ex-Gratia? And please be mindful with the words you choose. We're not asking anybody to insult anybody, no, but just tell us about how you feel when you hear the payment of Ex-Gratia. Tweet at us. Use the hashtag #LoveInTheMorning, and we'll be glad to read your tweets as well. Please go ahead.
So, David, what we've done so far is that we've defined Ex-Gratia. We've gone through the Constitution to look at the conditions of the president. The president do not pay tax. It's been established. So it means that when the president is paid a salary, he doesn't pay tax like most ordinary Ghanaians do, though he is there to serve us. And the Constitutional Review Committee gave us a reason for that. They said that because in ancient times, kings were not paid tax, they kind of see the president as a king. So while says subjects pay tax, he shouldn't pay tax. We've also identified those who fall under the Article 71 office holders. Now let's go to how it's calculated. When you read the 13-page report by the Professor Yaintiamwa committee, and as I said, the Constitution enjoins the president to form a committee not more than 5 people on the advice of the Council of State. David, listen to the words well. On the advice of the Council of State. Now, it's Parliament who approved those recommendations. So you see the circles. There's already a circle I'm trying to draw for you to see. Now, there's been the Green Street Commission. There's been the Professor Rama Adi Commission. There's been the Chenrihesi Committee. There's now the Professor Yaintiamwa Bedu Committee.
There's even the Ishmael Yamson Committee as well.
Ishmael Yamson too, yes. That was under President Mahama. Now, when you go through... Okay, so Green Street was under Rawlings. If I'm doing a little bit of education, Green Street under Rawlings, Kofo was Chenrihesi, Mills was Rama Adi, Mahama was the Ishmael Yamson, and the Kufuor Professor Ya Intiamwa Bedu. So they are basically doing the dictates of the Constitution. Now, when you go through the report, it's a 113-page report, and anybody can get it when you Google. This is how they calculate the Ex-Gratia, and I'm looking at this current committee standard. So you see the salaries when it comes to Facebook. You see the salaries of our presidents, the vice presidents, cabinet ministers who are not MPs, cabinet ministers who are MPs, ministers of state, regional ministers, deputy regional ministers who are not MPs, members of the council of state, and the chairman of the council of state. Others are there, but these are the important ones for me.
So join us on Facebook and then follow the conversation. LUV 99.5 FM. That's how you can get us on Facebook.
Yes, David. When you are going there, you can take a pic. You can take your pay slip and you join us on Facebook and you compare and contrast the emotions you feel. Share with us. Now, David, when you go through the Yaintiamwa committee in 2017, they said the president should be paid 35,520 Ghana cedis. In 2018, he's supposed to be paid 39,072 Ghana cedis. In 2019, he's supposed to be paid 42,979 Ghana cedis. In 2020, he's supposed to pay 47,277 Ghana cedis. I don't have to bore you with the numbers. When it comes to Facebook, you see. But David, what is important is that when you look at the percentage increment, it is 9%. I want people to listen to me carefully here. The percentage increase from 2017 to 2018, 2018 to 2019, 2019 to 2020 is 9%. I took my time to do it, 9%. Now, David, when you go back to the 2021 budget, when the finance minister read it, public sector workers, teachers, and nurses, and all that, they got a salary increment of 4%. In the 2022 budget, when they read it, the public sector workers were getting an increment of 7%. Now, David, all these people are getting a flat rate of 9% increment on their salaries. Now, the reason why Togo Afede got 365,000 is because of this. Let's calculate together. Togo Afede was the president of the National House of Chiefs, and as president of the National House of Chiefs, he automatically is a member of the Council of State. He served for 4 years between 2017 and 2020. Now, when you come to the Facebook, you see the chart there. The chart. A member of the Council of State in 2017 was paid 19,734. So, David, what you do is that the Ex-Gratia is 4 months of your salary. So what it means is that if you're a teacher and you are paid 1,500, I hear some are paid 2,000 Ghana. When you are paid 2,000 Ghana, the Ex-Gratia is calculated so that though you are not part, but I'm just using your salary. The 4 months of your 2,000, which is 8,000, 8,000, yeah, is your Ex-Gratia for a year. But we will assume 4 months as your Ex-Gratia, so which is 8,000.
Multiply by 4.
So what it means is that you can even take one salary, 2,000, multiply by 16 months. So that will be your Ex-Gratia after 4 years. Meanwhile, you are receiving salaries. So Togo Afede was receiving 19,734. So what you do is that for 2017, you calculate his Ex-Gratia by 4. You multiply 4 by 19,737 Ghana cedis. David, you come to 78,936. 78,936 for just 2017 Ex-Gratia. In 2018, he was being paid 21,707, and I'm not scapegoating him. I'm just because his own has become a bit topical. So if you are home, you can also buy this same mathematics, do for president, vice president, and I'll show you actually how much they earn. I'll do that, is in a chart. So Togo Afede in 2018 Ex-Gratia was 86,828. In 2019, his Ex-Gratia was 95,512. In 2020, his Ex-Gratia was 105,064. When you tabulate all that, you come to 366,340 Ghana cedis. What it means is that he paid 365,392.67 pesos. In mass, because there's something infinitesimal difference. So that is the difference. So whilst our members of parliament are getting paid monthly, they get Ex-Gratia, which is equivalent to 4 months of their salaries per year. Then they multiply by 4, which is the Ex-Gratia for 4 years. And they take this every single 4 years. Now, Joe, give me the picture too.
And whilst he does that, Father's Day is just a few days away, and you're already fretting over what you get your father on Father's Day. Now, you were saying to yourself, not another aftershave. Not to worry, because GTP has got you and, your siblings covered if you want to, present something wonderful to your father. They have this prestigious Dumas fabric as the perfect gift for this year's Father's Day. Just pick, from 6 distinct designs that are an embodiment of creative thoughtfulness that would, appeal to and excite the man of many desires. Choose a new Dumas collection as a Father's Day gift, and I can assure you, he'd be glad about it. Now, you can even order conveniently by contacting 050-994-0949 and get a fitting Dumas piece delivered to your doorstep. It is 050-994-0949. So keep the Father's Day feeling flowing and order Dumas fabric from GTP today. Trust me, you'll get a big hug from Daddy, as well as maybe a handshake. Yes, sir.
Yes, David. Now, when you come to Facebook, the picture we are presenting is that based on the recommendation of the Yaintia Moabedu Committee, this is the Ex-Gratia the president will get. At the end of the 4 years, the president gets 659,392, 6.5 billion old Ghana cedis. The vice president will get 5.4 billion old Ghana cedis. The speaker of parliament will get 4.8 billion Ghana cedis. The cabinet ministers will get 4.6 billion Ghana cedis. The cabinet ministers that are not MPs will get 5.57 billion Ghana cedis. Now, David, let's go back to picture 2. I did a simple math. You see, the Ghana's regions were announced 16. So from 10 we have 16. So the council of state members have jumped to 31.
Now, before you do that, apologies. Join us on Facebook and get to appreciate the conversation some more. But the interesting thing is that even aside from the fact that the president retires on the salary and is going to get Ex-Gratia every 3 years or so, his vehicles are what? Changed for him by the state. Vehicles changed for him. Free by the state. So those are added stuff that they enjoy. There are so many allowances that they get as well. But for the want of time, we'll just stick to these ones.
Yes, David. Now, when you come to Facebook, what we see are the cabinet ministers. In the second term of President Akuetteh, there are 19 cabinet ministers. Out of that, 12 of them are MPs. So it means that when the Ex-Gratia is being calculated, they will take that of the cabinet minister because it's higher. Now, David, I did a simple math here where the Council of State, the 31 members, going by the mathematics, because you know that the salary will go up by 9%. But I still use the flat rate to give us, let's say 365,000. The 31 members alone, Council of State, that's 11.4 million Ghana cedis. When you add the president and that of the VIP, it's 1.2 million cedis. When you go to the speaker, here's because there's one speaker, 488,456. 1,000 Ghana cedis. The deputy speakers are members of parliament, so they will take members of parliament. Now, when you deduct the cabinet minister, 12 from the 19, the 12 of them are MPs. Now, when you do that for them, that is 5.6 million Ghana cedis. Now, David, when you do all these maths, you go to parliament, and let's not forget, the reason why they are taking more is that most 50% of ministers are coming from parliament. Now, Dave, when you do all this, I came to a flat rate of about 124.66 million Ghana cedis. And that is the president, the Council of State, cabinet ministers, and MPs. Because you deduct the 12 cabinet ministers from the 275, you come to 263 members of parliament. David, I didn't add ministers. who are not MPs. I didn't add the Auditor General. I didn't add the EC commissioners
the
and
chief
their
justices
deputies.
and all that.
I didn't add the justices of the Supreme Court. I didn't add the commissioner of the NMC. And David, 124.66 million Ghana cedis. The last time you called, and I'm coming to the, so when someone is listening, may ask, oh, but how does this conversation Ashanti region affect me? The last time you called the Deputy Minister for Interior, who is in charge of that ferry, they told us that the money they are lacking is $32 million, right? Now, David, let's even say the dollar is 7 cedis. Are we not getting almost 210 million Ghana cedis? Do the Ex-Gratia for just 4 years. Can't we complete a ferry?
Well, they are telling us now to complete that ferry facility in December, or by December, and commission it.
And David, I submit to you, the reason why I think the Ex-Gratia must be cancelled is that the president retires on their salary. Until they are dead, we pay for everything. Currently, we pay for staffers for them, we pay for cars for them, we give them fuel, their cars are changed every 3 years. On members of parliament, David, members of parliament, do you know that when you go to parliament, the reason why most of the chamber, or most of the time, the chamber is empty is that you can take a special dispensation from the Speaker of Parliament and practice. If you're a businessman, you can do your business. If you're a lawyer, you can practice your law. So, David, why are we paying part-time workers, members of parliament, these gargantuan salaries, and also paying them Ex-Gratia after every 4 years? David, the definition of Ex-Gratia in the Article 68 for the president was that when they are retiring, but if I've been in parliament, I've gone through election and I'm coming back, why must I be paid retiring benefit? And David, indeed, I saw the Article 71 holders. How many doctors every 4 years go to the bank to withdraw Ex-Gratia? Nurses, teachers, these people who form the core of our public sector, these people who are the majority of our public sector and contribute to taxes. David, now when you put even...
And it's a concern, Yana, the current Yana raised when the committee, went out to engage. And he mentioned that, listen, in as much as you're doing this work, don't forget the teachers and the nurses. And like you rightly put it, they don't go to the banks at the end of every 4 years to say that they're looking for what?
David, I've seen a message on your console. Someone taught for 38 years. It's Ex-Gratia, or what Senate gave him, for teaching for 30 years, not even up to 50,000. So why are we paying this money? David, in the Ashanti region currently, out of the 88 districts that are without hospitals, 88 of them are that are without hospitals. 15 are in the Ashanti region. So if you are listening around that, how is this important to me?
Why should I be bothered?
15, David, 15 of them are in the Ashanti region. 15. And out of the 15, I wanted to go, yes, I have the list. Adansia Sokwa do not have a district hospital. Efida Kwabre North, Ahafano South West, Amansia South, Asokore Mampong, Achemawa Biaja North, Busumi Frenhu, Obuasi East, Central, Efida Kwabre South, Ahafano South East, Asokwa, Achemampunia, Akrofum, Achemakwama. All these districts, they do not have a primary health center. They don't have a district facility. Currently in the Ashanti region, if you want the region with the poorest proximity to health ratio, when you are moving from your house to a hospital, the proximity ratio that we have, the poorest, is Ashanti region. And based on the 2020 census.
And it's supposed to be some 5 kilometers or something. Just 5 kilometers. Then you hit a fine hospital that should cater for you.
We have the West, but David, we are spending close to about 500 million cedis every 4 years.
And again, if you're talking to our listeners and you're asking why they should be bothered about it, how many times haven't we been assured of 5 interchanges? 5 interchanges. Swami interchange and all that way.
And David, I'm coming there. When we look at the region with the most, when it comes to road accident, the last 2 years, it's Ashanti region. David, why? Because we have a lot of vehicles plying our route. We are connecting region, where we connect to most of these landlocked countries that come to our country to pick their goods and all that. Look at our road infrastructure. Look at the massive infrastructure you see in other regions compared to the Ashanti region. Our MPs take this 4 years. David, can't they say, let's put it in the consolidated fund and do the most basic
like Togbi has done?
Exactly. David, we live in a country where the most basic of things are lacking. Water, proper places of convenience, schools. We live in a country where 4,000 communities are without SHS. We live in a country where we need policies to address why, in 5 years, over 500,000 teenage girls got pregnant. What are the policies these MPs and people taking Ex-Gratia doing? What are the advice the Council of State are giving? David, do you know what is interesting even in the Council of State? In 2006, Richard Delaskai went to the Supreme Court to seek interpretation. There were about 3 cases and the Supreme Court joined them. The Supreme Court gave the verdict that when the Council of State advises the President, it's not binding. So it means that the Council of State can advise the president, so if I'm advising and it's not binding, why must I at every 4 years pay you 11 million Ghana cedis?
For the advising and you're not taking advice.
I don't get it. So David, I submit based on all these pockets of information that the Ex-Gratia for me is a threat to our collective democracy. It's unfair. It's not equitable. We are cheating the majority of these people, and David, we need to abolish it.
All right, so the Yan Tiamwa committee, we're told, made some recommendations that, listen, there should be a transformation, let's say some monthly scheme of a sort, so that these members of parliament, for example, some deductions will be made so that it goes into something like a pension scheme for them. Would that be applicable or not? Listen, listeners, join us on 0257 195 104. We'd like to hear from you. 0257 195 104. We've run you through how the Ex-Gratia is calculated. We've told you the amounts that people are making, the quantum and all that, and what it could do for us by way of projects. We've mentioned to you that we have interchanges that we've been promised several times. No work has begun on any of the interchanges. We have so many things that we are lacking. And we're paying people for part-time jobs that they're doing. And if one individual decides to return it and he deems it inappropriate, some people sit somewhere and they lambast him. Like I said, we want you to speak to us, speak to this issue, but be mindful of your choice of words. Be mindful of your choice of words. No insults, just speak to the issues. Kofi Bedu, good morning.
Dave, how are you doing?
I am well, Kofi.
I think I'll be mindful to say that the leaders of this country are so wicked. I think that is not insult. Are you surprised why we don't have money to feed the school feeding children? The school leader has taught for so many times, and the children, if you go to the village, you will find out that some of these children are not going to school because they don't have food to eat. And the wisdom of President Kufuor said that he established it to feed the children in order for them to go to school. And you see how leaders of this country have been so wicked to share money. I don't think anybody will win if you take this to court, because the judges themselves are beneficiaries of this. So what we have to do is the youth of this country are not angry enough. We have to mobilize and put pressure on these people to take all these Ex-Gratia. For the MPs, I think they deserve it. But it should be one term. No matter if you serve 7 terms, you should be given only 1 term. Apart from the MPs, I think all those who are on these Ex-Gratia supposed to be scrapped, and who is going to do it? Unless the youth of this country, become so angry to push this, I don't know whether it will work.
I hear you, Kofi. And that is why some people are calling for us to take a look at the Constitution again, because some of the MPs will tell you that, listen, it's in the Constitution. It's in the Constitution. And so if we really want to fix this, let's go work on the Constitution. 0257 195 104 is our number. Call us. Let's hear from you. 0257 195 104. What's your own take about Ex-Gratia? And we've told you how much they are receiving as Ex-Gratia. We've told you how much, it's calculated and all that. And what we could have used all those monies for. For me, even if we want to pay Ex-Gratia, and that's me, my view, fine, pay it. But for members of parliament who keep going, wait, if they are not re-elected, then give them Ex-Gratia because they have served their term. But each and every time, every 4 years, they benefit, and somebody moves from parliament, becomes a council of state member, and still benefiting from Ex-Gratia. Yes, sir. Christoph, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. I hope you are fine, sir.
The Lord is my shepherd, I am well.
Yes, see, you nailed it. I think that is the answer to this non-inspection. 1992 Constitution, it's for a few of Ghana. David, let's talk about that. Those times, how many people were in Ghana? And now, what is our current population? What are our problems? So I think we started the Constitution. David, the unfairness, the disparity, the inequality in Ghana, it is so outrageous that we pay money to people for no work done, David. And the mass And majority of the people are wallowing in poverty. They can't even feed their families like. So to me, I think that we shouldn't. So if Toby offended haven't returned the money, we wouldn't have even do all these things. And now people are bashing the king. People are vilifying him for doing the right thing. David, what? You are being insulted. If you do the right thing, you are being bashed and all that. So to me, David, let's go back and fix the constitution.
I hear you, Chris. Thanks for joining us. And you can also call us on 0257 195 104. You can also send us voice notes to 055 1111995. 055 1111995. Our call is on 0257 195 104. Felix is going to help us with the phone calls. So call us. I know we're using one line like we have been for a few weeks now. You might call, the line might be busy, but call and you get through. And let's hear you as to what you make of the payment of Ex-Gratia. All right? 0257 195 104 is the number you can call us on. Meanwhile, are you ready to wake up the champion in your child today? Well, don't just wake up your child. Help wake up the champion in them with energy from Milo with Active Go and other foods. Your child needs all the help they can get as they grow, go through their daily activities. Now, Milo with Active Go contains the natural goodness of malt, milk, and cocoa, and it's a source of vitamins B2, B3, B6, B12, C, and D, plus minerals such as iron, calcium, and phosphorus. Energize them with a nourishing cup of Milo every day. Milo, energy to go further. And this advert is FDA approved. Well, I have a retired teacher, I'm told, on the line. He doesn't want to mention his name. He refers to himself as a retired teacher. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Dave, in fact, I'm saddened. Dave, could you believe that I thought for 35 good years, my retirement package was 18,000. 35 good years, active. Thought for 35 good years.
I beg you, can I ask a few questions if you don't mind?
You can ask.
During your 35 years in service, were you able to put up a house?
Dave, I couldn't.
No, we have young.
The money I was given, I used the money in purchasing a plot. The plot is not there. How then do I put up the building?
How do you put up a house then?
Exactly that's the problem.
So when you hear about Ex-Gratia and the payments that we are making, how does that make you feel?
It should be scrapped totally. Even the current MP and then the president should not be given this Ex-Gratia again. I think it is high time we start to demonstrate against these people. They are cheaters. Huh? How come? Taking about 600 and something after serving the country. You are being set free, you are being everything, you are being catered for. Huh? A teacher who has taught for more than 35 years, just imagine, look at the peanuts he's taking home. Dave,
yes, sir.
I'm annoyed. In fact, it is quite sorry for my, it is nonsense. In fact, we should not entertain it at all.
I hear you.
We should not entertain it. It should be scrapped right from the way go.
Thank you, sir. He says he's thought for 35 years or over 35 years. And having thought for 35 years, he was given 18,000 Ghana cedis per. So I decided to probe a bit further as to whether he was able to put up a house. He says no. And yet, we have young politicians, young ones, the kind of cars that they've purchased, the kind of buildings, not one, buildings that they have. And yet, they were taught by a teacher. He's retired after 35 years of service. 18,000 Ghana cedis. Or to assassin. Obey can we see that Wafa Kwame, good morning. Hello, Wafa Kwame.
Good morning, David.
Yes, sir. Welcome, sir. Let's hear you.
Thank you. David, me prefer me Saturday way and now more radio stations, no more popular deal. No more and the more support to these people, no more you know, more. Because who say, if you have a child, then a man can 35 years. We are now half a big 180 something, 18,000. And to me, in Kasai, my 5 glass animal, name Momono, obi ti say MP no no betena ho obekọ 4 years no dia de na o di wansa ke be ma aprafo a mo pre no MP mo no ko mo gai because when you so ko wo di 4 years no ka be premium and next time wo nya fresh ka no if you someone mo we do think say say mo to mo so mo ma oda mo ti ka say say adom ni ade mo nyina mo campaign ni get that you go to be team that do ti sɛ MP for no says me no mo di 3 million ɛkɔ 4 million ko says o ba di saa obi so tell some mo tun na wo ho for your salary but Ex-Gratia no be give every 4 years maybe you someone we na mo fan to ho na mo campaign ni fu ja wo mo saa nya saa de o man fika no penifo be di saa yɛ timi ka wo he so what that we buy both NPP ni di to ma yɛ di na o ti akora si na mo frɛ we anu hia was extra we know I am to the yard the pap for 1 year, you know, the yard there. MP 275 every 4 years, the anno be added. Was that the principal, but the didn't was about the name of Senka or GL say was several what this you know about your first canna.
Thank you very much, Wafa Kwame. We're grateful. Thank you very much for calling us. And I'm happy that you're calling and you're making your contributions in a very decorous manner. I am happy. We should be mindful of our choice of words. So 0257 195 104 is the number you can call us on. So call us and share your thoughts with us. I mean, we're talking about Ex-Gratia and we're asking you, how do you feel when you hear it mentioned and the figures that we've shared with you this morning? How do you feel about the payment of Ex-Gratia? Erasmus, good morning.
Good morning, David. I think we need to discuss this for almost 2 months. This topic, we need to hit it so that it will enter into the years of workers of this country. What work, David, my question, this question, I want the politicians, I want the judges, I want all of them to answer me. What work at all do they do to deserve all these things? They should tell me. What work do they do? Go to the hospitals. I think the other day, Dr. Sesampini was there. Go and look at the research they are doing. Go and look at the work that nurses are doing. Look at the work of the teacher. David, I went to a certain village in the farm place. Then I met a young, beautiful lady. She was there and I said, Madam, what is that? She said, I'm a teacher. I said, wow. David, where the lady was sleeping, it's an eyesore. At the end of the month, how much does she take home? Then we have these politicians who do virtually nothing. David, and I repeat it, virtually nothing. They should dare me and then we argue. What do they do? What are the profitability of their work to this nation? Just look at the money they take. David, I think Ghanaians will need to...
Your call has been put...
...and take them off. We are tired of these nonsense.
And like I said, let's be mindful of our words. I mean, you're not insulting them, but you're saying that their actions and the things that are happening doesn't make sense. Nonsense. That's what you want to put across. I think I can squeeze in one more call. So 0257 195 104. Call us. We can pick just one more call. Hi, good morning.
Hi, good morning, David.
Yes, boss. What's your name?
Yeah, my name is McLean. I'm calling from Santa.
Good to have you, McLean. Your thoughts?
David, do you know the most annoying aspect of the whole issue? A lot of people are not aware of this, but take it from me. Do you know that the judges who are covered by this so-called Ex-Gratia, they take every 4 months. When the MPs are going, when the MPs serve their tenure and they are going, the judges take advantage of that and then benefit from the Ex-Gratia when they are still in active service. You can cross-check.
I'll do a cross-check on this.
Look, and that is the most annoying aspect. So you can imagine if you send a case of this nature to the court, what do you expect? And you have some Article 71 workers, presidential staffers, who are in charge of attacks and insults on Facebook. And they are taking this huge sum of money. Very annoying.
McLean, thanks for joining us. And at this point in time, we'll start playing the voice notes, sharing with you the thoughts of people as they have sent it to us via WhatsApp. Take a listen to these.
Hello, David. Good morning. I think all these issues are emanating from the Constitution, which happens to be the supreme law of the land. And if the constitution that is supposed to promote equity is, on the other hand, promoting some of these non-equitable, sharing of the cake, then it becomes an issue. I agree with the fact that the constitution has to be patched so that we take out all these things that are inconsistent with our democracy and the equity policies, and ensure that we have one that protects the general public. Because with this, it only gives fear to the ordinary citizen that we are hopeless. When all our leaders are, what all they are doing is amassing their properties for themselves and their families. So that is my take on this. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you. He also is talking about the Constitution and that we need to take a look again at our Constitution. I have a few more. Let's listen to this one.
David, good morning and good morning to your listeners. This is Darius from Activate. My contribution is that just as some of the questions you posed to Madam on the prepaid meters, we are beginning to feel that the way to go is the prepaid meter. Good morning once again. This is Nasser from Activate. In fact, there's another thing I've noticed. One thing that is hindering the effective operations of ECG is backdoor activity. What's she actually doing to actually stop that? Because you see, that is one way that is indirectly affecting the positivity and progress of ECG's operations. What's she doing to stop this backdoor activity? For instance, if you are looking for a meter, you can, instead of going through the right channel, which is tedious, people tend going through backdoor to get their meters.
All right, so we'll be playing more of your voice notes this morning right here from the Studios of Love 99.5, and you have to listen to this one.
Good morning, David. This is Nasser from Activate. Thank you for another nice program. It's very informative, very educating. But my point is that with all that we are saying today, with all the worries your callers, everybody is showing, is expressing, where is it going? It is going to end up in the hands of these same politicians we vote for. So it is up to the citizenry to be very proactive and pragmatic in terms of who and what they have to accept when it comes to politicians luring us to vote for them. Because at the end of the day, we put them there, and then they do what we don't want. So we must be very decisive on ourselves and know exactly who we think, if we put there, will be productive enough to help our cause.
All right. Thanks for sending the voice note in. But the point again is this, that there are many people who tell you that even these things that they are enjoying, these benefits that we're talking about, are things that are enshrined in the Constitution. And that's why I keep saying that we need to take a look at the Constitution again.
Hello, David. Good morning. I'm Fremin and Edu. Kasefi Junasi. Topic now reason is a good Ipa Osenka. Ghana, a teacher mumma, penifo, beer, cocranim, beer, tiasi. Ni who acquire penifo no or more politicians no dear fashion. Because all she more. Say a country budget no more for half. Because we be just 4 years. She Ex-Gratia orgy. Na me who yenka Ex-Gratia de kam who yenka why adwuma every year when you adwuma bio no ko pension no and they dey ma wo. No dey 4 years near the amount. Next 4 years, also ko prayer na unya ni asa the amount sa nti obi betimi agi sa nti me fi say sa ayi na omo nhihye na omo ye ne de ka betimi ankaban no omo twam no omo ye no foforo.
That's his appeal or his plea that we take a look again at these things. Unfortunately, we cannot, play all your voice notes that have come through. We'll try and see what we can do, though. But listen, I have gotten messages that have come through. Some of you, instead of sending voice notes, have, sent text messages actually via WhatsApp. And there's one that says, David, good morning. The guy is right. My mom taught for 33 years as a teacher and retired with 14,000 Ghana cedis. Even after all the processing stuff, the amount she actually got in hand was just around 13,890 Ghana cedis. Something. It's sad. This is a woman who won some Best Teacher award. So to wrap up, Eugene, what do you want to say?
David, I'm saying that listening to the majority of Ghanaians.
Let me take this one. Please, good morning. The Ex-Gratia payment starts from the High Court judges. I think he called on the show later as well to speak to the same thing about the High Court stuff. Let's hear you.
Yeah, David, I just want to submit that as unfair. And I think that, as I said, it is an affront to the very tenet of the democracy, which is equity. There's equity in there, there's fairness, there's the rule of law. Because, David, you see, the reason why people agitate when it comes to some of these matters is that when they look at their salary, and I gave you the president, for example, how much is he paid? Over 47,000. He starts exempt. He starts exempt when it comes to salaries. He starts exempt when it comes to allowances. Starts exempt when it comes to pensions, gratitude, and all that.
Clothing allowance, entertainment allowance.
Exactly, you retire on your salary.
A lot of these allowances.
So, David, why should every 4 years you give you 6.5 billion old Ghana cedis? For what?
Yunus Afuseni says even some of the benefits that they have, some of the members of parliament don't even touch it. And so when they leave in, they take it and they can do a lot of projects with it.
David, they get per diems and all that. When nurses trek in their district to go and attend to cases and all that, do they get per diems for that? I'm saying that we have other pertinent issues we have to address. In the Ashanti region, on top of my head, David, we live in a region where 5.4 million of us, Joe, put it back, our hospital spaces, they are just 1,628. 1,628. Suntraso 130 bed, Ashanti Regional Hospital 142 bed, Comfort not 1,200 bed, Tafu 56 bed, KNWS Hospital 100 bed, 1,628 for a population of 5.4 million. 15 of our districts do not have district hospitals. David, when you come to the Ashanti region, proximity to health, best space, we are lacking. Hospitals, we are lacking. Go to the constituencies of some of these MPs, and David, you'll be shocked.
Where are the interchanges they promised us? Where are the interchanges?
And you see, we are paying people these sums of money. David, do you know that we even have nurses? And even, David, what pains me is that when these MPs go to Accra, we pay their rent. Huge sums of money. Ask yourself, when my sister got posted for nursing training, did the Ghana Health Service pay the rent? They know somebody is staying in Koforidua, they will post you to the voter region, which is good for social cohesion, for national development and whatever, for us to build some lab for other regions and all that. Who pays the rent of that nurse or doctor?
So
we don't do that.
The conversation continues on the Super Morning Show, and the Super Morning Show team want to take a look at this Council of State members, whether their role is irrelevant, especially when we're told that their advice is not binding on the president. That conversation is on. So let's join the feed right here, right now, on the Super Morning Show.
Yeah, David, their role is important. But the Supreme Court, which is the apex court of the land, says that the advice is not binding. David, the people at the committee, when you listen to the live Professor Bafojan, who wrote the book for a champion, these people are not riffraffs. David, if you like, we can go through the list. We go through for over 70. They are not riffraff. They are not riffraff. Let's give them.
They are well-meaning Ghanaians.
Let's give them some 5,000. Someone who've worked in the UN for 50 years.
And people can become Council of State members. CDS, they retired CDS, they retired IGP, and they retire on their salary as well.
David, I'm saying that if the president wants people to advise them for free, we can get him some. You don't need to pay them 20,000 salaries and also give them close to 11.1 million cedis in Ex-Gratia every 4 years. Doesn't make sense.
Please wish a happy birthday to my children, Ikia Sapong, Ejekum Hene, and Bafo Nkrumah Ejekum Hene of Matters of Uganda, GHS. They are 14 years old today. This one is coming in from a very good friend, Alpha and Omega Publications. Thank you very much, sir, for doing the listening and also for sending in that birthday dedication. This one says, David, wish a friend of mine, David Opoku, who works with EcoBank Ashtown branch in Kumasi, a happy birthday for me. He's been a great friend and a classmate. Thank you. And this one is coming in from Acheba Awini. So we now join the feed on Joy 99.7 for that conversation on the role of the Council of State members and whether it's still relevant or not.
Association. Director of the Media Foundation for West Africa, Suleiman Abraham, explained that it is important to have a leader